Okay, so you aced your resume, and now you've got that big interview coming up.
That's great.
And it's virtual.
Oh, wow.
I know, new rules, new anxieties, right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Nailing the visual side of things can be a game changer.
Right.
It's not just about what you say, it's about how you present yourself.
Yeah.
Even through a screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting. One of the sources really dives into this idea of treating a video interview like a mini production.
Oh.
You're the director, the set designer, and the star all rolled into one.
I love that analogy. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just show up to a stage play without any rehearsals or thought about costumes, right?
Right.
So where do we begin with our video interview production?
It might seem counterintuitive, but before you even think about your outfit,
Okay.
we need to talk company culture.
Yeah, I saw that in one of the articles too.
Yeah.
Why is that so important in the age of video chat? I mean,
Because even though you're not physically in their office,
Yeah.
you're still entering their world virtually.
Yeah.
Think about it. Is this a company known for its buttoned-up corporate vibe?
Right.
Or are they a bit more laid back and creative?
Yeah.
Their online presence can give you clues.
Right. Like I noticed our listener mentioned using a platform called HireVue. Does that tell us anything?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I'm curious to learn more about that platform.
Yeah.
Is it super sleek and modern? Does the company advertise it as their way to be more innovative in their hiring?
Interesting.
Those details can be super telling.
Okay, so company culture is key. Got it.
Yes.
But let's get practical.
Okay.
The source material dives into formal business versus business casual.
Right.
And honestly, I feel like those terms mean different things to everyone.
It's true. The lines can be blurry.
Yeah.
Think of it this way. For formal business, you want to convey a sense of authority and competence. So for men, a well-tailored suit in a classic color like navy or charcoal gray is a safe bet. And for women, a pantsuit or a tailor dress in a similar palette works well.
So it's not just about looking professional.
Right.
It's about strategically using your clothing to project the right image for the role. It's like visual communication, right?
Exactly. You're using your appearance to reinforce your message. Now with business casual, you can relax a little.
Okay.
A collared shirt and dress pants work well for men,
Yeah.
and they can even ditch the tie unless it feels authentic to them and the company culture.
And I'm guessing those bold statement pieces we might wear to a networking event are probably a no-go for a video interview.
Yeah.
Even if it's business casual.
Right. You got it. It's about finding that sweet spot between professional and approachable.
Right.
And solid colors tend to be more flattering on camera.
So we're aiming for that I'm put together but not trying too hard vibe.
Precisely. You want your personality and expertise to shine through. Now, you might think that since it's a video interview, no one will notice if you're wearing pajama bottoms and slippers.
Yeah.
But our sources argue that dressing from head to toe, even if only your top half is visible, can significantly impact your confidence and how you carry yourself.
It's funny, one of the sources mentioned a study about how clothing can actually influence our cognitive processes.
Interesting.
Something about what we wear impacting our problem-solving skills and abstract thinking.
That's fascinating.
Uh-huh.
It speaks to the power of clothing and how it can subtly shift our mindset.
It's like that saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Right.
But in this case, it's dress for the interview you want, even if it's happening from your living room.
Exactly. It's about setting yourself up for success,
Yeah.
both mentally and visually.
Right.
And speaking of visuals, our research also had a surprising amount of advice on grooming, even for a video interview.
Yeah, me too.
I was curious about that at first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they can see if your shoes are shined, right?
Right.
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 But the sources emphasized that being well-groomed,
Okay.
a neat haircut, styled hair, even something as simple as clean fingernails,
Yeah.
shows attention to detail.
Right.
It indicates you put in the effort, even when it's virtual. It's about respecting the process.
It's funny how these subtle cues can speak volumes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like when you receive a handwritten thank you note,
Yeah.
it just feels more thoughtful and genuine.
Absolutely. It shows you care about putting your best foot forward. And this next tip might be the most crucial of all, the camera test.
Yes. The sources were adamant about this one.
Yeah, it's so important. And I'm speaking from experience here.
Okay.
I once did an online presentation wearing a shirt that looked perfectly fine in person,
Oh, no.
but on camera, it was a disaster.
Oh,
The pattern created a weird optical illusion,
wow.
and it totally distracted everyone.
It's amazing how the camera can have a mind of its own sometimes.
It's true.
Yeah.
What we see in the mirror isn't always how the camera captures it.
Right.
Which is why doing a trial run with your chosen outfit and lighting is essential.
It's like a dress rehearsal for your big debut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're presenting the best and most authentic version of yourself visually and professionally.
Right.
Speaking of visuals, we should touch on accessories.
Right. What's the verdict on accessorizing for a video interview?
Yeah.
To bling or not to bling?
The general consensus is to keep it minimal and professional.
Okay.
Remember, you want the interviewer focused on your skills and experience,
Right.
not a flashy necklace or distracting earrings.
So maybe leave the statement pieces for another occasion.
Right.
It's interesting, though, because while we're trying to minimize distractions visually,
Yeah.
there are also those unseen distractions that can really throw us off in a video interview.
Oh, absolutely. Things like background noise,
Right.
pets wandering into the frame,
Yeah.
or even a roommate walking by in their pajamas.
It's our own personal blooper reel waiting to happen.
Right.
So what can our listener do to prevent those interview derailing distractions?
Well, first and foremost, choose your interview location wisely.
Okay.
Find a quiet, well-lit space where you can control the background as much as possible.
Right.
And don't be afraid to stage it.
So interior design meets job interview prep? I'm all for it.
Why not? It's about creating a professional and inviting atmosphere.
Yeah.
A well-placed plant or a bookshelf in the background can add a nice touch, and of course, make sure your tech is good to go.
Right, because the last thing you need is your internet cutting out during your big closing statement.
Exactly. Test your internet connection beforehand.
Yeah.
Make sure your camera and microphone are working correctly.
Right.
And have a backup plan in case of technical glitches.
It's all about being prepared for anything.
Right.
So we've covered the visual setup.
Yes.
But what about the technical aspects of the interview itself?
One thing our research emphasized was the importance of familiarizing yourself with a specific video platform beforehand.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is it Zoom?
Yeah. Google Meet.
Right.
Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
Each one has its own little quirks and features.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
So take some time to explore the platform.
Right.
Figure out where the mute button is.
Yeah.
How to share your screen if needed.
Absolutely.
That sort of thing.
The last thing you want is to be fumbling around with the technology during the interview.
Right.
It can really throw you off your game.
Yeah.
And speaking of staying in the game, remember those practice rounds we talked about?
Right. Like a pregame warm-up.
Exactly.
But instead of stretching, we're practicing our answers.
Exactly. But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Our sources suggest taking those practice sessions to the next level
Okay.
by recording yourself answering common interview questions using the actual video platform.
That's next level preparation.
Right.
It's one thing to practice in your head or even with a friend,
Yeah.
but seeing yourself on camera,
Right.
how you come across.
How you handle those unexpected pauses, that's invaluable.
It's like watching game footage.
Right.
You can catch those little things you might not notice otherwise. Maybe you're fidgeting or your
Uh-huh.
tone gets a bit too casual.
Right.
Being aware of those habits is the first step to correcting them.
So it's not about becoming a perfectly polished robot.
Right.
It's about presenting the best and most authentic version of yourself.
Exactly. Now, speaking of authenticity,
Okay.
one of the sources touched on a point that I think is so important.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to let your personality shine through,
That's interesting.
even in a formal interview setting.
I've always been told to keep things strictly professional in interviews, but I guess there's a balance, right?
Absolutely. You want to be professional, of course.
Yeah.
But you also want to be memorable and relatable.
Right.
Share a quick anecdote that illustrates your skills.
Okay.
Inject a little humor if it feels natural.
Yeah.
Show genuine enthusiasm for the role in the company.
Okay.
These things make a difference.
It's like that saying, people might forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Precisely. And remember, an interview is a two-way street.
Right.
It's an opportunity for you to learn about them,
Right.
just as much as it's a chance for them to learn about you.
Yeah.
So come prepared with thoughtful questions
Right.
about the role, the team, the company culture.
That's such an important reminder.
Right.
Asking insightful questions shows that you're curious, engaged, and genuinely interested.
Yeah.
It takes you from being just a candidate to someone who is actively considering if this is the right fit for them.
Exactly. And that shift in mindset can make all the difference. Because
Right.
even if you're not offered this particular job,
Yeah.
the way you present yourself, the impression you make,
Yeah.
it could open doors to other opportunities down the line.
So what I'm hearing is that nailing a video interview is about so much more than just wearing the right outfit or having a fancy virtual background.
Right.
It's about preparation.
Yeah.
It's about intentionality.
Absolutely.
And it's about letting your authentic self shine through, even through a screen.
Exactly. It's about taking all those classic interview tips
Right.
and adapting them for this new world of virtual communication.
Well, to our listener out there who is gearing up for that big video interview,
Yes.
I hope this deep dive has given you some practical takeaways and a renewed sense of confidence.
Absolutely.
Remember, preparation is key. Authenticity is your superpower.
Yes.
And even though you might be at home,
That's right.
you've got this.
You got this.
Good luck.
Best of luck. We're rooting for you.